Hello, everybody. This is Diane Brandon Moody here, and we're talking 50 something love, the podcast about love and dating, especially for people over 50. So this time I am coming clean. That's what I said I'd do, and that's what I'm doing. So buckle up. It's a little bit of a story, but I think it'll explain a lot of things for you. First of all, my elderly mother, she's now 86, has dementia, moved in with us in December. It was my turn. There's five siblings. It was my turn. And so we took her in. And at first, it was pretty easy. She didn't remember things for very long, but she was no trouble. She enjoyed getting up, watching her favorite shows. Really loves my husband, so she was playing a lot of cards, etc. And then in March, she started having back problems. And we didn't know it, but she kind of caused those back problems by sliding out of bed onto the floor, thinking that it would be easier to get up off the floor than out of bed. This is kind of wacky. She's not terribly mobile, but somehow, I mean, dementia, that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about wackiness. So anyway, her back started hurting. Um, Long story short, and fast forward a bit, she had done this bed trick two more times. Luckily, the first two times, my husband was there to help her back into bed. His office is across the hall, and he goes to bed later than I do. I was already sound asleep. So he was able to help her. The third time, we had put a doorbell on her night table so that she could use it whenever she needed help. So she did, scared the living bejesus out of us, but we got out there and got her back in. Then her back started hurting her very, very, very badly. Long story short, she fractured her L4 vertebra. We had already planned a trip to Hawaii for 2 weeks. I have a good friend who lives on the Big Island who offers his guest cottage to us anytime we want it for no charge and as long as we want it. So we had already planned to go just to get away and relax and have some fun with friends, see the volcano. We weren't even all that active. We did a lot of just hanging out and we enjoyed it. So my brother was here and we didn't even hit the gate. Did not even hit the gate. And my brother called to say, Mom fell in the shower. We're on our way to the hospital. Now, I feel horrible for her. That had to have been incredibly painful, especially when you don't quite understand what's going on. We had a home health aide. She was there to help Mom out, but she was a little tiny thing. Mom isn't a tiny thing. And the best she could do was kind of break the fall a bit. And she did. So, anyway, long story, even longer, Mom's broke four vertebrae, L1 through L4. They were fractured in multiple places. Um, we kind of suspect osteoporosis. But anyway, all of that is to tell you my life has not been my own since March. Not even a little bit. I've been spending anywhere from 40 to 60, 70 hours a week on her paperwork. She was in the hospital after the fall for 5 days, and then we moved her to a rehab for 3 weeks. And then we finally moved her into a memory care facility. Her care just needed more than we were capable or knowledgeable enough to give her. And she had planned on this for decades, so she had a policy, long term care policy. We didn't want her to feel alone, so we've been visiting a lot, and I mean a lot. And so add that to all the paperwork and setting up her room with good furniture and a new bed and refrigerator and towels and all of that jazz. Let me tell you, it's just been nonstop. So let me first Shout out to all the caregivers. I know if you are a person over 50 that's looking to date, I'm not the only one going through this. How do you find the time to date when you can't even find the time to cook dinner? There was a solid week there where we ate out every single night, which is unusual for us because I'm a pretty good cook and my husband's the bomb on the grill. And so we enjoy cooking and eating at home, but it was one of those days it was like, I just can't. I can't. It's not enough juice left in me. So some of you I know, like I said, I know that you are out there taking care of elderly parents or grandparents or other family members, and God bless you. Because I always heard it was difficult, and the first couple of months were really kind of easy. So the first couple of months, I was like, yeah, this isn't hard. Yeah, what's the old saying? You want to make God laugh, tell her your plans. Well, that was kind of me saying, yeah, I don't think so. This definitely gets harder. But the good news is she is in her new place. It's a delightful place. It's a beautiful place. It's new. It was built in 2018. And so all the decor is new. All the people are trained. They're all lovely people. They like my mom. My mom likes them. She still wants to know when she's coming home, and unfortunately, that isn't going to be anytime soon because even if we bring her home for a visit, she's going to think it's permanent, and it's just not going to be for a while, if ever. And so that's what your girl's been up to. I say all this because my deadlines have come and gone. My podcasts have been rather sporadic. They haven't always been on time. And I know consistency is something that really, um, it really brings the trust from the audience to a person. But that's why I thought I'd come clean and let you know that, you know, it just wasn't even possible. I am her oldest daughter. I'm her power of attorney and medically power of attorney, and there just hasn't been time for it. So, slapped together my last four podcast episodes while we were in Hawaii before we left. So, anyway, it like I said, it's been a little bit, been about a month, 6 weeks, something like that since I loaded the last one. So, I'm not going to keep on babbling here, but I on this particular topic, I just wanted to let you know what's going on. I have a brand new website. If you haven't seen it, dianebrandonmoody.com. I still have that 50 places to meet people over 50. Lots and lots and lots of people come out of the woodwork to tell me how much they hate, hate, hate dating apps. But so many of these people also have some misconceptions about dating and about meeting people in person. A lot of women still think it's absolutely verboten for a woman to speak to a man first. He ought to be the one to speak. Let me tell you, sister, if you are believing that, this is not only misinformation and old information, but it's also another way that you are fooling yourself into thinking you're keeping yourself safe from heartbreak. This is what we do to ourselves when we're scared. When we're dating and we're scared, we fool ourselves into believing that we have a really good reason for a belief or a thought that we have, and it really isn't a good reason. So let's not do that anymore, okay? Come on now. We don't need to do that. So, no, you can always approach Guy. Ladies, you can always approach him. Now, men, here is your equivalent to that. And I see this every day on TikTok. I hear this in a lot of places that men won't approach a woman because she's going to call him creepy. Women actually want men to approach them. We do. You, most women, absolutely most women, And here are the circumstances when they don't want you to do that. If you are 50, 60 something years old and you're hitting on a 20-year-old hottie, that's creepy. She's going to call you out for it. Those Gen Z types, they are not afraid of anything. They are going to let you tell you right up front that that's creepy. So don't be approaching somebody who's 30, 40 years younger than you. It is creepy. So don't do that. They will also call you creepy if you don't take no for an answer. If you see a woman who's tired and trying to eat some chicken wings before she's on to her next shift or her next job or going home to the family, if she's by herself and you're polite and you say something to her about the wings must be good and she nods her head and does not engage with you, this is her trying to give you the subtle knowledge that she's just not interested, at least not right now. That isn't calling you creepy. What's creepy is if you keep on and on thinking she has a lot of nerve to turn you down. Sometimes it isn't that she's not interested, it's that she's not interested right now because she's exhausted. She doesn't have it in her for another thing today. She doesn't have it in her for witty repartee. So just let her alone. Those are a couple of examples. Take no for an answer. If a woman says no, it's a complete sentence and let it go with that. So you can approach a woman, and if you're talking, here's another way they'll call you creepy is if you talk about a body part. If you tell her that she's, looking great in those shorts and, you love that tight top she's wearing, whatever, yeah, that's creepy behavior, dude. Don't do it. So those are ways in which you could be called creepy. But most of you guys aren't like that. Most of you guys don't behave in that way. Most of you guys are respectful. But you're believing this myth about how women are going to call you creepy. And they're not if you're not creepy. I promise. They're not going to. So that's your dating update from me for right now. So stick around. Get my 50 places to meet people over 50 at dianebrandonmoody.com. And I hope to be seeing you next time at 50 Something Love, where we talk all things dating and love after 50. Thank you so much and see you next time.